What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. As the New York Mets win their series over the Los Angeles Dodgers by winning 3-1 in the final game on Sunday Night Baseball. Of course, a Sunday Night Baseball game overlapping with the Knicks game, which is why I'm going live late. So I do apologize for that as well, especially if you're not Knicks fans. Then I apologize that you had to wait a little bit longer for me to go live to recap this game. But my heart right now, my heart from that game. And I'm sorry to talk basketball for a second here, but man, just the roller coaster they freaking put us on with that game. I digress. Either way, yeah, the Mets definitely an interesting game, an interesting series, a weird series, right? Because once again, didn't hit with runners in scoring position. Kind of got some help with the Dodgers making a lot of errors tonight, but I won't complain with the win. I'm just going to sit here and say, like, I still want to see more from the offense. I really do, especially considering the Dodgers didn't give you their best from their pitching staff today. Like, Landon Knack has not been good, and you only get a couple runs off him. I don't know. I'll take the series win. I wanted 2 out of 3 to make up, especially for the fact that they lost to the Red Sox and that Yankee series that just occurred. They desperately needed to get this series and get these wins, but I still just want to see more because a lot of it felt like more of the same, where the pitching staff put the team on their back and carried them to wins. And you know, that's good and all, but I just want to see more from the offense still. Really want to see more. We're going to talk about it. Before we do, leave a like on your way into the post-game show, or if you're watching on replay, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially for Met fans, and turn on your post notifications so you know when we upload or go live on Met Central. There will be a podcast episode at some point tomorrow, maybe. I don't know, because it's a little bit tricky with the holiday tomorrow. Figure it out. Figure it out. But either way, let's talk about this baseball game. So it did not start off all too great, as Kodai Senga leaves a fastball right down the deck for Shohei Ohtani to absolutely tank to make it a 1-0 game. Thankfully, we didn't know this in the moment, but thankfully that ended up being the only run that the Dodgers would score. But either way, that made it 1-0. Betts would get on because of an error. Mark Vientos, I don't care that they won. Stop playing Vientos at third base. Just stop. Stop. Please. Because I'm so tired of little league errors. And I know Jared Young had a hard hit ball, but are we really sitting here not DHing Vientos just to have Jared Young in the lineup DHing? I don't know. To me, that's bizarre. All this, I'm hoping, again, is to buy time for Mauricio to get back. Either way, though, then Freddie Freeman gets a double, which I thought for sure was going to score a run. But then Will Smith hits into a pop out, and Tyrone Taylor makes a really nice grab, makes a nice throw home, which I thought it was clear as day in real time that Betts was out at the plate. They end up calling him safe and then reviewing it. The Mets challenge it, and it got overturned. I don't know how they messed up that call that badly initially, because it was clear as day from the live view from my TV. So I don't get that one. But either way, then he strikes out Teoscar Hernandez, settles in nicely in that first inning to end the inning. In the bottom of the first inning, back-to-back strikeouts from Lindor and Vientos, and you got to give credit to Juan Soto as he hits one over to Max Muncy, who makes an error. But Juan Soto hustling out of the box, which was something that was obviously a controversial topic over the past few weeks, few days, whatever you want to say. He hustled out of the box, and thankfully he did, because Pete Alonso would then hit a home run, which made it a 2-1 game. Nice to see him get into a little bit of a rhythm again. He needs to start getting more consistent, because we haven't seen the Pete Alonso that we saw at the start of the season for quite a bit now. And, it's getting to a point where, or I should say it's been getting to a point where it's concerning. But either way, he ends up hitting a home run, his 10th of the season, making it a 2-1 game. Jeff McNeil would fly out to end the inning. Then Kodai Senga puts the Dodgers down in order. Michael Conforto striking out to end that inning. A nice fork ball there from Kodai Senga in the second inning. Terrens lines out, and then Jared Young, there's that hard hit ball, which went 401 feet. Probably a home run in a few ballparks. Let's actually fact check that one. Where is it? Actually, none. Never mind. I thought maybe it would be in like a handful. But either way, Pages makes a nice grab there. Taylor gets hit by a pitch. I can't talk tonight. Brett Beatty flies out to end the inning there. Then Kodai saying again, 1-2-3 inning, putting Edman and Ohtani down via the strikeout. Bottom of the third inning, Lindor with a single, Vientos with a single. Soto hits into a force out to make it 3-1. Then he steals a bag, already tying last year's total with stolen bags. Pete Alonso flies out. Jeff McNeil strikes out. So unfortunately, the Mets could not do any further damage. And unfortunately, Senga would work into trouble the next inning as he allows a single to Freeman, then a double play there hit by Will Smith. Teoscar Hernandez with a double, steals a bag. Muncy walks, and then Pages flies out. So he gets out of the jam to end the inning. The bottom of the fourth, the Mets go down in order. Top of the fifth inning, Conforto walks. Edman pops out. Ohtani flies out. Betts with a single. Freeman walks. And again, Senga working into trouble, working out of it. And Will Smith grounds out. Then we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Another 1-2-3 inning there, which, again, you're getting the theme here where the Mets offense doing what they typically do, which is score in 1 or 2 innings and then just gone, completely gone. Then Senga strikes out. Teoscar walks Muncy on 4 pitches, and it was obvious right then and there. You got to pull him from the game. Ryan Stanek comes in, gets Pages to hit into a double play to end the inning. I'm very surprised, to be honest with you, with Stanek, that they're really saving his bullets, it feels like, as of lately, because we have not seen a lot of him. And when we do, I feel like it's just to get a couple of outs. I guess they don't want him to sit down and get back up again. Maybe that's what it is in terms of the Ryan Stanek thing. But it's something that I've noticed. It's just an observation that I thought I'd point out because I feel like every time he's in a game lately, just 2/3 of an inning or just getting one batter and then he's done. But either way, you got to McNeil double in the bottom of the 6th. Nothing else going for the Mets, though. Kranick comes in, and Juan Soto robs Conforto of what would have been an extra base hit with a really beautiful grab out there in right field. Who said he couldn't play defense, right? But then, again, putting them down in order. Good work by Max Kranick, who desperately needed a bounce-back outing because I have not liked the way Kranick has looked lately. And to see that from him was very encouraging. In the 7th inning, Marte got a single, gets picked off, stealing a bag or attempting to. Taylor strikes out, Beatty lines out. We go to the 8th inning, where, again, a 1-2-3 inning, and Kranick encouraging signs yet again because getting the Dodgers' best part of the lineup out, that's what I want to see from him. And Acuna had a single in the 8th. That's about it. Reed Garrett comes in for the 9th to get the save. There was a single from Muncy that I thought Acuna probably should have grabbed, but it was also a hard hit ball that it was a little bit difficult to grab it. Either way, just good work by Reed Garrett. Really good work by Reed Garrett. You guys know the filthy splitter that he throws. Beautiful to watch. In terms of other moments that happened throughout this game, though, there was one double play that they turned. I think it was the Pages one. Beautifully done. Beautifully turned that double play with Beatty making the flip over to Lindor. Over to Alonso. Beautiful. But yeah, you got great pitching today. I mean, Senga unfortunately got beat a couple times in terms of the walks, but I'm not too mad about it against this type of Dodgers lineup. But he allowed 1 earned run, which was that home run to Ohtani to lead things off, and then only allowed 5 hits. I thought it was a respectable outing from Kodai Senga. Maybe you want a little bit more in terms of volume there, but at the same time, David Peterson gave you the volume yesterday, which made it that you could at least have some flexibility today because sorry, hit my mic there. But if Peterson didn't give the volume that you needed yesterday, and the bullpen was really taxed today, then it would have hurt a little bit more. But I still thought Senga gave a respectable outing for the most part. I thought that he just didn't generate as many whiffs on the forkball as he usually does, which not a surprise again against this type of competition in the Dodgers. So I get why the outing was the way it was, where it was a little bit more contact outs in this one, just not getting the whiffs as much on his pitches. But overall, again, just respectable outing. Static doing good enough work in the minimum amount he got. But Kranick, like I said, I mean, really encouraging stuff to see from him because he desperately needed to bounce back, and he did. And he went in there and just did what he usually does, throw strikes. And then Reed Garrett desperately needed to have this type of outing too. He is fully back in the circle of trust. He's not half in, half out at the very least anymore. He is fully back, getting 2 whiffs on the cutter, getting 3 whiffs on the splitter. He looked good today, and he looked good in his last outing as well against a really talented Dodgers team. And I'm going to keep repeating that because it's important to talk about with this pitching staff that we all doubted going into the year, or at least most people did. And outside of game one, which I'm not even mad too much about game one because once again, there was some poor defense there. And on top of that, I'm not mad about game one because of the fact that it went extra innings, which played a factor in that as well with the rain delay and Budo's been Budo. But for a pitching staff that had a lot of questions going into it, once again, I mean, just great work. Great work. The offense is still the concern, though, after this. The offense is just definitely the concern after this the entire way through because, once again, just 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, not getting enough traffic on the bases at all. You had a couple moments there where you had the home run from Alonso as well as having that RBI force out from Soto. I want to see more of what we saw yesterday a little bit, but even then, again, they could have done a little bit more there. But either way, yeah, the offense still just a lot to be desired. You're facing some bad teams next, though. Facing some really bad teams next. So here's an opportunity to really capitalize and say, all right, we're not going to fuck around. And this is where the offense needs to get going. Needs to get going here. Especially because you're facing Adrian Hauser tomorrow. I want nothing more than for this offense to light his tits up. More on that in the podcast, though, whenever that drops. Probably tomorrow. If I had to make a guess there. And if there's no podcast, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. We'll figure that out, though. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. Either way, though. Yeah. Just want to see more from them. Really want to see more because they had a couple of hits throughout the game. It's just not enough timely hits, which is what we are accustomed to, unfortunately. And then when you get a hit, like in Marte's case, and you get picked off trying to steal a bag, kind of eliminates the whole purpose there of getting the hit in the first place. But I hope that with that being said, I really hope they don't change the lineup too much with like even though the offense isn't exploding because I want to see some leeway with Vientos in the 2-hole. If not, I just don't want it to be Marte. Like at least don't let it be Marte at all in the 2-hole. I don't know where he could go because I'm assuming they prefer a right-handed bat in that spot. But I mean, if you're not, you could try Nimmo there whenever he's back and ready to go, which I don't know how much longer he's going to miss with that neck discomfort or whatever. But just give this some leeway without Marte hitting second. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Because honestly, I think even though Juan Soto didn't have a good game today, really at the plate, I want to see more of him in the 3-hole. I definitely want to see more of him in the 3-hole. They just need to find someone really that can hit between them. And you know what? There's a trade deadline, and hopefully they could find that perfect mesh to go there. A perfect right-handed bat that's preferably a DH. That would be my preference to hit in that 2 hole. That would be nice, but that's also a conversation for another time because we're still not even in June. We're almost in June, but we're not quite there yet. So yeah, I think that's really all I got to say. Let me look at the chat and see what you guys have to say about this game. Like I said, leave a like if you haven't, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's take a look though what you guys are saying in the chat. Two Cat saying my comeback Knicks, my comeback Knicks. I could talk, I could speak, and comeback Mets taking dubs. Yeah, great dub, absolutely. We'll gladly take a series win over the Dodgers, but there's still more that needs to be done. Agree there. They gotta improve offensively still. You gotta see more with runners in scoring position. Will it happen? I don't know. Needs to happen. Gotta get that offense going. Should have crushed neck. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like going into this, you gotta destroy neck the way that you did in the playoffs last year. You gotta. That small hustle did win the game too, Cats. Yeah, it did. And even him making some plays in the field there, catching that fly ball. Who knows what happens beyond that? If that's an extra base hit. If they were just a bit better with the runners in scoring position, they sweep this series. I love that they took the series win, but should have been a sweep. For me, again like a sweep would have been nice. Obviously, I wouldn't complain, but like the offense, just runners in scoring position, step up. They should have at least 3 games in the next 6 where they're scoring 10 plus runs. I'm not going to demand that much, but better situational hitting with runners in scoring positions what matters to me. That's first and foremost. That's the most important thing. Just got to take advantage of those teams though. Like you got to go 6-0, at worst 5-1. At the very very worst 5-1. I'm not accepting anything less than that. Because last year they did that shit with the Rockies. I forgot what it was. I think that they lost their series against or they didn't lose the series. They won it, yeah, but they lost that last game. Yeah, that Sunday game that they lost. Was that the Katana like 3-hour game? No, I don't think that was actually. I think that might have been a different game. I feel like that game might have been against actually the Marlins, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, yeah, but that one's coming back to me now. Trying to see how long that game was. If I could find it. Not that anyone else cares, but now I just made myself curious here. Yeah, they went 4-2 against the Rockies. That's what I thought. They lost the finale with Katana on the mound. Yeah. But I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. The time of the game. Yeah, that one was almost 3 hours, that game. I think that's the game that I was thinking of there. Against the A's. That's right. That was against the A's. I mean, that game was almost 3 hours, though, too. It was 2 hours and 56 minutes, that game against the Rockies. I can tell you right now, I do not miss that with Katana. Do not miss that one bit. Oh, yeah, now I see it. The 3-hour, 45-minute game with Katana on the mound against the A's. Yeah. That was a drag. Good day for the orange and blue. Feel confident the offense is going to get their act together during the stretch of games against the Sox and the Rocks. I will be shocked if they don't score runs in bunches. From your lips to God's ears, I'm hoping. To the baseball God's ears, that is. I really hope. Yeah, Reed Garrett looks back to form for sure. He definitely does. They're gonna need that, especially on days like today where Diaz can't give you another outing here. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like the Dodgers did a good job not biting, and then even on the fastball too, when he tried to throw them off with that to locate it, similarly to the forkball, they were laying off that too. But I liked seeing saying it change his approach every now and then with that. And like you said too, with the cutter too. Yeah, I didn't even read your full comment there, but yeah, that too. Reed Garrett's definitely back in the circle of trust. Yeah, and I agree with this. I want that division back. I want that division back, even though it's early. I want the division. I want that bye. That's what it comes down to. I want that bye. And I know there's going to be people that say, "Oh, well, screws with some teams." I don't believe in that crap with the bye. I just think that some teams are made for the moment and some aren't. I mean, the Dodgers just won the World Series and they had the bye last year. The Astros won the World Series with the bye. So, to me, it's more of an excuse. Because to me in baseball, I don't see how extra rest hurts you, especially with your pitchers that where it really, really benefits you. I understand the people that are like, well, it messes up with the hitter's timing and stuff. I don't know. To me, again, it seems like more of an excuse than anything. If you're truly a dominant team, you don't let that get in the way of you. You don't. Dodgers had no problem with that. And that too. I want home field advantage. I want the playoffs to run through Citi Field because this past postseason, that building, I was at, I was fortunate enough to be at, yeah, I was at every single home game this postseason. I was fortunate enough for that. But every time, just electric. Even the games against the Dodgers where they were getting killed, it was like, it was electric. And game five, where it was like do or die there, electric from first pitch. And it helped that they scored early, of course, but still, it's just like the crowd never gave up there. And hopefully the team translates out on the field with that energy that the crowd's going to bring come October. Yeah, I want that bye for sure too. So some teams heat up playing in the wild card, but I've seen plenty be fine. Astros, like you said, started 7-0 in that 2022 run. That Astros team was good. Yeah, that the Dodgers last year. Um, trying to think if I'm forgetting any others. But yeah, I mean, either way, to me, it's like the good teams thrive with that. The good teams thrive there because you had the Rangers who were a wild card team, but at the same time, I mean, they were one win away from getting a bye. I know they technically didn't, but they were one win away from getting a bye. Ever since they put the bye in, I mean, 2 out of 3 World Series winners had that bye. So, and one team was right on the cusp of getting the bye. Which, you know what, though? I mean, Could we just sit here and like say that they had a bye because didn't they destroy the Rays in that wild card series? If I'm not mistaken, I'm actually wondering now. I want to go back and look. I think they just like, yeah, they dog walked the Rays. I mean, they had a 2 round bye pretty much because the Orioles too. They just demolished both of them. Yeah, yeah, they swept the Rays. They steamrolled the Orioles, and then Houston. I mean, went up 2-0, went down, and then did what they did. And then the Diamondbacks. I mean, Diamondbacks had no chance. 3 teams have made the World Series with the bye. I think you mean wait, because yeah, none of those teams had the bye. If you're saying without the bye, yeah, because those teams didn't have the bye. I'm assuming that's what you meant. Yeah, I need SNY back too. It's so annoying. Yeah, no, that's what I thought you meant. Okay, but yeah, the freaking broadcast. It was so annoying. Give me SNY back. I hate Buster Olney. Yeah, I don't like him either. I don't like the broadcast either. And I'm not accusing um what's his name? Joe Davis, right? That's his name. The Dodgers broadcaster. I don't want to sound stupid, but I also feel like I'm disrespecting him by confirming. Yeah, Joe Davis. I'm not accusing him of being biased, but it's a little annoying that, the Dodgers get their freaking broadcaster on national TV for one of those games. Well, yeah, the Mets slide now to 11 over 500. Like I said, there will be further discussions on this series coming up. Thank you, everyone, though, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.